Here we are in part 2 of the mashup between the Zino and the FIMI X8. The first video was all on comparison of basically price and delivery and packaging. This one we're going to go on the physicalities, or the good and the bad in comparison, how they're built, what they offer. I still haven't plugged them in, I still haven't powered it up yet, so here we go. Obviously Zino on the left and the X8 on the right, and comparing the two, the FIMI is slightly physically larger, slightly physically larger folded up. Okay, I'll insert a little snippet here about the actual weights. Okay, the Zino weighs 720 grams and the X8 weighs 790 grams. Okay, the other difference is the FIMI has a 4500 milliamp 11.4 volt battery, and the Zino has a 3000 milliamp 11.4 battery. Okay, the controller on the Zino has a 3.7 volt with 2700 milliamps, and the controller on the FIMI has a 3.7 volt 3900 milliamps, so it should last a little bit longer. Okay, one of the big things, as you can see here, when it's folded up, the gimbal almost rests on the ground. It's very close to the ground. If the camera is facing down, it would probably rest on the ground when it's folded up. The Zino, in my opinion, has one of the best protectors. Solid, and it comes off very easily. It's beautiful. It's really, really good. From a textile point of view of touching, the Zino plastic feels a little bit cheaper, and the quality of the FIMI seems a little bit more refined. And the controllers, the Zino, it's a toy. I mean, it's a toy, plasticky toy. The FIMI is more professional. Even the sticks, they come off, they're made of metal, they screw on, they have a place to hide them. It feels good in the hands, very good. Where the Zino, it's all plastic, it's plasticky. Okay, let's unfold them, and they both unfold. The front ones first. And they snap in really good. Okay, solid as a rock. They do feel very good. There's all the screws are exposed to disassemble, which is very good. So that's the FIMI, and it does raise the gimbal up slightly when it's unfolded, but it's still very close to the ground. The Zino, we bring it out, and it does feel plasticky. It does feel not as much. Size-wise, when they're folded out, almost identical. Okay, so that's the Zino over there. Okay, this is the cover for the gimbal. It's a piece of rubber. Okay, piece of rubber. They've got to come up with something better, and I'm sure they will in the future. Okay, so that was one of the negatives for that. Okay, we've got operating temperature for the FIMI is between 0 and 40 degrees Celsius. And I'm assuming the same for the Zino. Okay, when you get around 0 or just below 0, it does affect video a little bit, a little fuzziness, or some people call it soft focus, and I'm hoping that with the warmer weather that will go away. I don't know. I say I haven't flown it yet, so I can't judge on that one. Okay, controllers. The controller for the Zino has a really unique design where you pull out, insert. You can't fit a tablet in there without an extension. Okay, but the external plug is a great idea. I like that. I'm not real fancy on cables and plugs. I know the Hubsan H216A had a controller that connected via Bluetooth to the phone, no cables. I don't know why they didn't develop that further, because when it worked really well. So it seems they're all going to cables. The cables on the FIMI are still using the old USB, which I don't understand. I thought they would all go this route. This is a much better route, but they're going with the old USB. Okay. Another negative I have about the FIMI is all these plastic rubber doors. They get in the way. You can't, you've got to plug them in, you've got to hold and turn this around and hold this and plug this in and all this kind of stuff. So I don't know. Okay. So that's that. The other thing on the FIMI as well, where's the rubber door? Oh, see, it's all white. It's hard to see. There's a rubber door here. And this rubber door holds, if you can see it, holds the upper one is the SD card. You put that with the writing facing up. The lower one is the connection for the computer. There's a switch here, bottom gray switch there, and the top one is a button. Apparently if you push it, it turns red. That's for pairing the controller to the X8. So if you got a brand new controller, it wouldn't be paired to this machine, so you'd have to do that. If you got a new X8, you'd have to pair it to the controller. So if for some reason you have to, I guess bind is the word, bind your controller again to the FIMI, you'd use that button. The switch underneath is a left-right switch, and on the right there's a thing underneath that says RC, and on the left it says Wi-Fi. I can't find any documentation anywhere about it. The only thing I can think of is if you want to operate the craft just by your phone, you switch it to Wi-Fi. If you want to operate the craft by the remote controller, you switch it to the right under RC. That's all I can think of. I hope I'm right. I don't know. Okay. Another great thing about the FIMI, really good, it has intelligent battery. One quick push and they light up. I've charged this up and I've charged this up. The Zino has an intelligent battery on the controller. It tells you incrementally, once it's booted up, how much it's charged up. The battery on the Zino doesn't. Okay, it's not an intelligent battery. I like the side door on the Zino. It's easy. It's right there. Again, with the FIMI, you've got to undo a plastic door, hold it, do something, whatever. But it is protected to the weather, and once you put your SD card in, you're probably not going to worry about it much after that. Okay. One big problem I did find, not a problem, but an issue I had with the controller for the FIMI. It's got a great place to put the sticks. Okay, great place. They take off, they hide there, that's great. This pulls out great. You can put a 7-inch tablet in here. That's great. Okay. Here is where the wires go that connect to your phone. And flipping this up, the USB part goes in there. So when you get your, now this is specific to Androids that use micro USB. So this is the micro USB for Android. All the Androids I have, 3 of them, including the Galaxy S7, don't fit that way. They fit that way. So I can't put it in like that. I can't use it like that. I have to flip it around like that. So I have to flip it around in the hole like that. Okay, so I have to bend it around. I'll show you another picture close-up I have of it. But I have to bend it around like that, and then I can plug this in and it fits in here. What I do have, and this is from my Bebop, and I bought a few of these, it's a left-hand micro USB to USB. And I've got a couple coming from Amazon. They're about $5 a piece, where this is actually right angled as well. So I can put this in the correct way, right in there, and the wire does fit in there really snugly. I might have to make that a little bit bigger, but that's where and how it's supposed to fit. And then I can just plug this in there. Okay, but from the factory, the supplied cord, it's the wrong way around. And I don't know how many times it's going to take before doing that causes this to break. The C plug and the other plug, that's fine. They work fine because they can be put in any way they want, right? But the micro USB, not great. Not great at all. What else have we got? We've got propellers, okay? They're both the same type of propeller, collapsible, foldable, whatever you want to call it. And I'll put a video clip in here as well about how easy they are. This is basically a push, turn, they come off. Push, turn, they're on. My only issue with that is if you look underneath, I don't know if this is in focus or not. Yeah, you see those 3 tabs? Okay, these plastic tabs, that's my only issue. At what point are they gonna snap? I don't know. I'm sure DJI has them and others have them and they're fine. But I think I'd like to get a couple more sets of propellers just in case, to be prepared. Okay, now they say there's an AV, in one report, there's an AV out port on here, and I don't see it. Unless that's it there, I'll have to have a really close look. But I don't think so. But one report I read said it was an AV out. But there's no markings on this whatsoever, and it looks just like a micro USB. So let's try a micro USB in there and see if it's the same size. Yeah, it's a micro USB, so I don't see an AV out anywhere. Maybe they're wrong. Okay, so that's that. Other than that, I can say that the FIMI has, from face value, has a lot more potential because of the quality of the build. It does have some sensors. There are 2 sensors on the bottom. The Hubsan has a barometer inside, but there's no sensors facing down or forwards. Okay, and again, they're the exact same amount of money when I bought them. So that's that. So this is the part 2, which goes over the physicalities of everything. The controller, again, I forgot to mention, has the video button, the picture button, the exposure wheel, and tilting the gimbal wheel. It has the flight mode on this side, and the red button this side is return to home. It has the power on button, has the automatic takeoff, automatic land, and has a D button here with 5 different ways, and that's to switch from it pushing down centers the gimbal, pushing up changes from map to video, pushing to the right changes the interface, pushing to the left changes the interface, pushing directly in removes all the interface and you just have a blank video or something. So there's all kinds of things to check out here. Okay, it feels very good, very good, a lot better than the toy feel of this. So I'm very interested in part 3, which is going to be initial boot up and see what happens to each one and how they connect. I still haven't found a video on a connection sequence like with the Zino. Lots of people, and they figured the best way was first you turn the Zino on, then you turn the controller on, and when they boot it up, you turn your app on, you get into the interface, and then you plug it in. And it's worked for me every time that way. With this one, I'm assuming the same thing. I'm going to turn this on first, then I'm going to turn this on and wait for any lights to stop blinking. Then I'm going to connect it and see if it automatically picks up the Navi program. My Parrot Bebop Power, you connect everything, turn everything on, and as soon as you start your controller, it automatically picks up the app, starts it, binds everything, and you're ready to go. So I'm hoping this is more like that. Okay, so that's the end of this part, and again the next part, part 3, will be probably initial flight as well, the start up, the boot up, going through the app, and so on and so forth. So that's the end of part 2, the physical differences and the quality of the build. Thanks for watching. See you next time.